All right, hello guys. This is just gonna be wrapping up or touching back on Typhlosion, and also giving you some solid options for Pokemon to use in game. Like I said, you want a full team of 6, usually before the post game. But anyway, yes, Typhlosion. Let's go ahead and click on him, and we already touched on his Blaze ability or the starter's special abilities. And anyway, yeah, this Pokemon is a solid special attacker with great speed. Evolves at level 36 from Quilava. And anyway, don't know why that keeps popping up, but moves for this Pokemon. Flamethrower at level 42 is a great option. That is a must. Eruption, I would say avoid Double Edge. Eruption is probably the best fire type move in the game. You want to avoid physical attacks with Typhlosion. And ultimately, it can learn some in-game HMs if you need it to. I would not recommend Toxic on it, but it kind of lacks a solid move pool to go from. That's the one problem with it. Will-O-Wisp is not going to be in-game necessarily. And the problem is it just learns fire-type moves. Solar Beam can be used with Sunny Day. That's honestly might be okay, but it probably cannot take a hit from a solid Water-type Pokemon. Maybe even for days. So it lacks, what it makes up for is probably the best fire type in the game. You guys got to remember we're playing Generation 4. It's a really old generation. It came out back in like 2009 to 2010. So yeah, it's an old generation, but you cannot hate on the favorites. So anyway, that's a little bit about the starters. Anyway, let's touch on just some in-game Pokemon, or to build up your team of 6. Of course, everyone's favorite, Pidgeot. I would probably choose Pidgeot over Pharaoh. Noctowl is a great option. It's everyone's favorite. But I guess what I mainly will be doing is touching on Pokemon that I've used, or that I have used. Raichu can be a great electric type, although I have never used him. Golem, Geodude, Graveler to Golem has to be traded. Of course, trading Pokemon is a bit cheap because you would have already had to beat the game. Everyone's favorite flying type is probably Crobat. This Pokemon is super good in game. And even competitively, it cannot be bad. With going first on a toxic move, or possibly hitting a cross poison for a crit. It's not a bad Pokemon. Fly is a great move on it. Of course, you can get a Togekiss. Post game, you'll need the Shiny Stone. I'm pretty sure the Shiny Stone is north of Goldenrod in the National Park. You'll need Rock Climb. You can get it before the champion, the original champion, but you'll have a Togekick going into the Elite Four. Other great types that can be very well used. I have used Sandslash before. Sandshrew to Sandslash. Sandslash, very underrated in my opinion. When you talk about what items it can have on it, it will get the Quick Claw most likely. You will definitely want one in the Safari Zone. You'll want a Sandshrew. And you'll want to catch a bunch to pick the nature, but Sandslash is a great option, in my opinion, in terms of just being a great all around Pokemon. There's Arbok. Of course, I would not recommend Arbok normally. There's everyone's favorite Ampharos. And Gengar is a traded Pokemon. Quagsire is another great Pokemon to go with. You can get a Wooper as soon as Violet City, so. And Steelix is another favorite. Let's see. Poliwrath is traded. Gyarados is probably one of the best water types. If you can train up a Magikarp to Gyarados, then you will just be rolling in everything. I mean, of course, you do get a red Gyarados. We'll touch on that later. But Slowking, the option for the Slowbro Slowking is, I think it's Slowbro Water Psychic. Slowking is traded with the King's Rock. And Vileplume is a great grass type. Also gets the dual type grass poison. Hypno is actually it's actually a gamers or commentators favorite Pokemon. It's a bit underrated in my opinion. Of course, if you do have time, you can get an Alakazam if you trade it. Fortress can be used competitively and is just probably one of the best defensive Pokemon in the game. And don't get me wrong, Nidoqueen and Nidoking are some of the originals ever. Yanmega is actually extremely underused. It's a bit cheap with the speed boost every turn, but this Pokemon can be actually really good. Of course, it just can't take a fire or a rock type or electric type to save its life, but that's not to say it cannot start getting up speed boosts and double teams. But anyway, Executor is everyone's favorite Kanto. If you can get a Caesar, you're in just amazing luck. Scyther and Caesar have the same base stats, although Caesar is the better Pokemon than Scyther because Caesar gets the Steel type, and Steel types resist so many typings. Pinsir is a great bug type. Of course, there's everyone's favorite Heracross. Weezing is... it's a Kanto original. Arcanine is exclusive to Heart Gold. Primeape can be a very good fighting type. Machamp is a bit overwhelming in terms of, in my opinion, the best fighting type in probably the Johto game. Miltank is very underrated. And just some other types. Starmie is a favorite Kanto Pokemon. Lantern is probably great if you want a Pokemon to potentially win the game. But we can get into that more later. Dugong is a little underrated in my opinion. It can be very good. Of course, the evolutions, everyone's favorites. Kanto, probably Vaporeon. My favorite, or Jolteon, the favorites. And then you have the Johto evolutions, Espeon and Umbreon. Uh, Kingdra is a traded Pokemon with, I think it has the same base attack. Actually, all of its stats are the same, but it's in the green with all of its stats. I think it's a base 540 Pokemon. Very good Pokemon. Uh, and Mamoswine is everyone's favorite. Ursaring is exclusive to Soul Silver. Donphan can be an amazing Pokemon if you're playing Heart Gold. I'm playing the original Soul Silver, however. And then you have Pokemon that are post-game, like Skarmory. Of course, my first generation was Hoenn. I played Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And my first version ever that I played as a kid was Ruby. Excuse me. Dodrio can be super good competitively. Marowak is potentially a speedy Pokemon with great attack and good defense. And Houndoom's a favorite of many players in Johto. Of course, there's other Pokemon. Those are some of the main ones. And of course, go with the Pokemon that you love and care about. Like Dragonite and Tyranitar are two of the best Pokemon in the game. They can be extremely well when put together. The game is pretty challenging. To be honest, I have not chosen my full team, but it gives you an idea of who is pretty solid all around. So thanks, guys. This was about 12 minutes and 30 seconds, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.